Yeah, does the state medical laws or state laws apply to the Federal Medical Center?
No, I'm not saying it applies. But what I mean is that if the state health centers were functional and the general hospitals were very functional, when people have health challenges, they will go to them. But the situation where this concessioning is affecting most of them, FMC now became the only tertiary institution with specialized healthcare service in the state that people were to go to. But people go there and you see the union members now gather themselves. My brothers, let me ask you, is it genuine that I am employed to work in the medical health center, and rather than work in my ward as a staff, I now come to work every day and gather and be clapping and be saying somebody should go? Now, when we asked the Ministry of Labor, they told us that no labor law permits any unionist to demonstrate for removal of the head of government institution.
You haven't answered me. I was asking the place of NLC, not the state NLC, because Mr. Waber, the NLC president, also spoke on this matter. So what's the place of NLC in the matter of FMC and its management?
We met with FMC Imo State. Our own view is that this thing was happening in Imo. That center was established for Imo people. If anybody at the national will take any position, Imo State and NLC must have a position. And they should work in tandem with them. Imo State Johistory should work in tandem with them. And we have found out, we were told that labor law does not permit, it was the NLC and their members when we met with them. Our understanding from their reactions was that there is no law that permits a unionist to go on demonstration or protest except where the welfare is affected. Either their salaries are owed or their allowances are not given to them. But that is not the case here. Their salaries are paid.
But I thought they said that part of the salary
they are paying them. They are paying them. Now, the argument is that the woman should be removed. That the woman has done this, done that, done. Is it the union that will do the job of EFCC? Have you not heard of people in the ministries that are being probed? Yeah, are they not still doing their jobs?
What did you mean when you said that the EFCC went to court without the FMC or knowing?
When I had it as rumor, we asked the woman, because we've been following this thing. We asked her if she was aware.
Are they supposed to take permission from FMC or
no? They should serve her. They should serve her. The Federal Minister of Health should know. If she has, after all, she's a staff of the Federal Minister of Health. And if EFCC is taking a staff of Federal Minister of Health to court, shouldn't the Federal Minister of Health know? And if EFCC is taking a staff of Federal Minister of Health to court, shouldn't the SGF and the head of service even be aware? And I told you we had written them. And they wrote us, telling us they were looking into the matter. And they informed us that they had written the Minister for Health. After they investigated our petition, they wrote the Minister for Health and asked the Minister for Health to do what was needful. And then the Minister for Health has, after a long investigation, whatever they have done administratively, decided to reinstate the woman. And the union is rising again. The question I want to ask is this national union being fair to Imo people? Was the FMC set up for unionists, or it was set up for citizens of Imo State? If that FMC was set up for citizens of Imo State, we have had enough. The unionists should know that rule of law should be obeyed. You had the judges that were searched, and people are talking about following due process, following due process. When will the union stop work at the FMC and frustrate work almost 1 year now?
Well, you did say that salaries were not being withheld. We just had Labour say salaries are being withheld. You also did say that they've been on strike, but they also said that no, they're not on strike, they're working, they're only there to protest. Are those two correct?
The salary they're talking about, we've not had them talk about salaries. All they've been saying is that the woman has high-handedness and that she has been accused of corruption, and that the corruption is that she wanted to privatize the place. They keep moving from one allegation to the other.
Now, when you made your report, you said it was in 2012.
Yes.
Did you do any latest reports ever since this began?
I told you we wrote. After we met with Labour, we met with interim management. We also tried to reach out to the medical director on the crisis they have. After that, we now wrote the Secretary to Government of Federation. We wrote the Head of Service. We wrote the Minister of Health. We wrote the Minister of Labour. Because to us, we feel that the Minister of Labour has a responsibility. They know what the labour laws are. And the Minister of Labour is telling us that what is happening in FMC is an abnormality.
Have they made that public?
Yes,
they just told you.
No, the report of the investigation is there. You You can reach out to Minister of Labour, find out the report of the presidential committee that was set up to investigate Angelo Wakwem, and you read their report.
So you think that for some reason, you say for some selfish reason, that they somehow have gotten workers in FMC on the side of NLC against the management?
I'm not even saying NLC, a few persons, not NLC. Because NLC national cannot come to a state and bypass the state NLC. Like this man is talking now, what would expect the state chairman of NLC by his side? Because that center is...
So has the state NLC chairman spoken up against this?
Find out from them what their position is.
You didn't write them?
We met them. We wrote them and we met them. We met TUC. We met them collectively with Johasso and all that. And we told them what is happening. To them, they said they have this solidarity in labor. That because of their solidarity, they can't come and say much. But that to them, and we asked them, is it justified that this protest should be going on? They said, as far as they are concerned, that labor unionists can protest over welfare and salaries. But that the argument over who will head the center, this person should be removed. Is the labor the owner of the center? The federal government that owns the center has anti-graft agencies that can investigate. At most, their job is just to report, and the person will be investigated. The police is there, the EFCC is there, the Code of Conduct Bureau is there, ICPC is there. Why will they not take over their jobs? Now, do they know that as they leave their own duty post and go on protest, they are equally committing a crime themselves? Because they are paid salaries to do the work, and they refuse to do their work, and people are dying in that center. And then they say they are protesting over a staff, taking over somebody else's job. It's not fair. Now, the issue here is we need to be careful so that a precedent will be set up, just like you are here now. If maybe your general manager here, some staff has anything against the general manager, you report to your MD, and your MD now sets up a committee to look into it. And after the committee has looked into it, you people decide to say, no, you will not work again unless that MD is, that general manager is removed by MD. In other words, you are not overruling the MD. The labor unions are trying to introduce, and apart from this, let me tell you this. Do you know they introduce violence? There was one boy, Kingsley, right to our office, he was beaten up.
We need to go. Princewill Okorie, National President, Association for Public Policy Analysis. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you.
Well, that's the show today. We thank you all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain. What's up?
I'm Sliman. Many thanks.
Oh, thank you, Amaokwe Ogun.